Hello everyone, Shadefyre here, and welcome back to some more of Revelations 2. Today we're going to be checking out Raid Mode. I've played a decent amount of this too. I tried to actually not play too much of it before doing this video, to not have everything completed by the time I wanted to record this. So the first thing that's different is that Raid Mode is its own separate thing here. This is sort of your Raid Mode menu area. So you can do stuff like, check leaderboards, buy new equipment. When you first spawn here, this plays.
Rise and shine, my adorable little guinea pig. This is my baby, the Red Queen Alpha. I've invested a lot of time into making this the perfect battle simulator. And now it's time for you to show me what it can do. Run, my little hairball. Spin those wheels.
So, they sort of give you this little setup that it's a battle simulator type thing. You can upgrade your weapons here. And here's kind of the meat of it. Here's our characters. Hunk and Wesker are DLC characters, sort of. Hunk you get, I think, just from buying the full thing, the full, all 4 chapters and everything. Whereas Wesker is something you get for buying the complete edition that comes with all of the DLC, or whatever. Or you can buy them separately. There's also Gina Foley here, who is kind of a joke character, and then Claire, Moira, and Barry. No Natalia, since I guess they didn't want to just suddenly give Natalia a gun. Despite her objections to using a firearm in the main campaign, Moira can also use a gun. However, as you can see over here, characters unlock weapon slots at different levels, and it changes by character. Some characters start with more initially, some characters start with less. There's also active skills, which for a lot of characters is just stuff like, Molotovs and stuff, which you can only use a certain number of times in a mission. Though some characters, like Hunk, actually has a active camouflage where you can stealth kill enemies while you're cloaked. And then there are passive skills which just buff various stuff. Some of it's just like the Revelations 1 stuff, like good with certain gun types, like Wesker's good with magnums. But then some of them are weirder stuff, like Wesker's evade cancel, where you can basically dodge out of anything else to cancel it. And then there's just stuff like boosted health. Characters unlock new skills at various levels, but you still have to buy them with skill points, which you get for leveling up. And I think these are all different based on characters. Like, they're not all different skills. It seems like every character unlocks like the health up and stuff. But I think some of them are different. You can see some of these like weapon skills down here. So there's a lot of stuff to unlock, and characters level up individually. So it's a bit of a pain, I guess, to unlock everything, but Raid Mode is meant to be played repeatedly, so it's kind of giving you something to unlock. Alright, so for an actual mission, let's go with Wesker, I guess. Magnum and a shotgun. He's got an electric bottle. He's also got extra health and a Magnum ability. There's also gestures, because despite the fact that this does not have online co-op at all, or even local co-op right now, this is meant to be played with other people, even more so than the first Revelations, as some characters are actually built to support other characters better, so they added a gesture system, which, some of these are pretty basic, just like, oh, come here, go over there.
Go. Stay there. Praiseworthy. Come.
And then they added some stuff that reminds me a lot of Lost Planets 2's gestures.
You imbecile!
Yep, there's various dances and stuff that you can do. And more of them unlock as you level up and what have you. So really, this DLC is worth it just to see Wesker do all of these things. So I'm fairly certain that a lot of these are actually just ripped straight, like the animations are just ripped straight from Lost Planet 2, because I recognize some of these, and of course Lost Planet 2 is also on the MT framework engine, which this is as well. Specifically, I recognize this one as being exactly the same animation as Lost Planet 2.
Go.
In addition to this gesture system, there is also Gina, who is a bit of a joke character because of her skill, where any of the gestures, like the dances and stuff, will actually do damage to enemies around you. She kind of sucks though, so until you level it up, she's kind of a pain to use. Alright, let's go to Wesker, and let's actually play some raid mode. Now, before we do that, inside of missions you will find treasure boxes, basically, with these records in them, and you can come here to evaluate them for a cost, and this is basically the main way that you get new weapons. You'll also find mods in the same way. I'm not sure why you wouldn't evaluate them unless it's something you're not looking for, and then you could just sell it, because you can see you can just sell them instead of evaluating them. And you can tell by the silhouette what gun it's going to be, because in addition to, you know, a specific category, there's also, you know, the SVD sniper rifle, the Mosin sniper rifle, and you can tell that just by looking at the silhouette on the card. Alright, so we've got our main missions, which are, you know, your raid mode missions. A lot of these are from episodes that aren't even out yet. The first episode you get these 2 here, or these 3, rather, as well as 9, which I think is the throwback map pack. There's also daily missions, however, that obviously pop up daily, and these will give you a lot more money or experience than other missions, but they'll have stuff like you can only use a specific character. Like there, you can only use Gina, but you get 18,000 experience, which will level her up to like level 10 or something. And some of them will have stuff like no respawning. And you might wonder, well, you know, what's respawning? So, they decided to go with a bit of a shady booster stuff here. If I can find the... If you go to the online store, you can buy life crystals, which will let you respawn inside of a mission with real money. Because, you know, everyone wants to do that, right? Or you can even buy guns. They're only $1 each, but, you know, Capcom's trying to cram their downloadable game with microtransactions to see if they can, pretty much. Since the first Revelations had a few DLCs, but they were just, you know, a couple extra characters and stuff. Alright, let's do a main mission, and let's do... I finished all of these, so let's go with Mission 1 of 2. I've noticed that a lot of the maps that are in this seem to be just ripped from sections of Resident Evil 6 maps. And that's not even the throwback maps. Alright, this looks like something from an episode I haven't seen, because this does not show up in the first episode. There's some of this treasure chests. Got a new Mosin there, and a new part. Oh. I see, we have to defend. This is weird, I haven't had one of these yet. It does seem, however, that like this, there are other objectives in this than just kill all the enemies, get to the end. I've also had a, I guess it was called a gauntlet mission, where they just spawn a shit ton of enemies in a small map. And you just have to kill them all. Every time you hear that crow noise, it's another enemy spawning, which is important for maps where you want to get the route bonus for killing all the enemies. Also, there's this weird, like, gas mask dog. A lot of the enemies you'll see in raid mode are not in the first episode. Which is a little odd, I guess, but... I suppose it'd be pretty boring as there isn't a lot of enemy types in the first episode. Alright, here's these pyramid head guys with the big hammer. They're pretty similar to the executioner type guys in 5. They're a little weaker, and you can knock them down. They hit you pretty hard though, and they usually cause bleed when they hit you.
Praiseworthy.
Get out of here, Silent Hill enemies. I wonder if there's any treasure chests hidden over there. You know, stuff to force you to go away from the thing you're defending to get more treasure. Also, like the first raid mode, your ammo reserves do carry over from mission to mission, but unlike the first one, you can fairly cheaply refill them at the beginning of every mission. It'll just ask you, do you want to refill all your ammo? Though so far I haven't seen a way to increase the amount of ammo you can store. Which, if I remember correctly, the first game had something you could buy for a large amount of money. Hold on for a sec. And of course, just like the first one, there are enemies with special traits, like run faster, or weird ones like this, where he will do ice damage if we get close to him. But will also explode into ice damage around all the enemies around him when he dies. I think. Unless it's a different one. It's kind of hard. You can't really just look up these conditions. Yeah, okay. So that would have frozen any enemies around him if there had been any. Alright, let's take a quick look around, see if I missed any chests. Sneaky stuff hidden back here. I do like that there seems to be multiple music tracks for raid mode now instead of just the one. Because even like Resident Evil 5 and 6, I believe the Mercenaries tracks are just one track, even though Resident Evil 4 had character-specific ones. But this one just seems to have a bunch of them, and I'm not sure if it's based on map or what. And your character no longer says how well you did at the end. Because the ratings are different. Now, instead of getting rated on stuff like no damage or stuff like that, you get rated on beating it at less than your recommended level, killing all the enemies, not using any herbs. And then if you get all the other 4 medals, you get a completion medal, and you need these to unlock stuff. Like, for example, there's a character you need to get 10 completion medals for, you know, getting all the other medals in 10 maps. And then there's another one for getting 90 completion medals, which is impossible to get right now. But yeah, so they made it a lot easier to get all the medals in this, instead of trying to get the, what was it called? The try something medal in the first game, where you got no hits under the part-time and under the level, I believe. Or no, it might have been genocide, no hits, and under the level. But yeah, it seems like in general they've made this a bit easier.
Mission complete.
You know, weapons aren't locked by their level, so you can use weapons that are higher level than you. Though, one of the tooltips mentions that it does scale down the weapon to your level, so I'm not sure. Fire bullets. That's cool. Haven't seen anything like that yet. Alright, let's do one more. Also, you can see there's a rest bonus up there. I think that just means if you don't use a character for a mission or something, they'll get more experience, maybe? Alright, let's go with Claire and our new sniper rifle.
Try going ahead. Wait. Thanks. Follow me.
Also, something I didn't even remember to mention in the campaign video, they changed Claire's voice actor, despite her being one of the only characters across Resident Evil to have the same voice actor in everything, including the CG movies and the Chronicles remakes. Let me actually read this. Okay, it's just defeat the enemies. Also, yeah, as you see there, it costs money to play missions, but not very much, so I can't imagine you really running out. Also, this is I want to say this is a map from 6. One of Jake and Sherry's maps. Or it just looks like it. I mean, it's hard to tell what's taken from other maps and what is just not out yet. Though it's weird because some of the maps do mention that you need, like, episode 2 content or whatever. So I don't know, maybe they actually made some unique maps just for raid mode. This seems like a very un-Capcom thing to do. Also, in one of the daily missions, there was actually just straight up an executioner guy from 5. So I'm curious if they're going to have like throwback stuff like that mixed in. Which, you know, if they're going to have that, having it in raid mode makes sense. Alright, so these are one of the guys that will spit out mines when he dies if you shoot him in the head. Which then you can use to kill other enemies when they run over them by shooting them. It's ironic that they removed the no-hit bonus when it would be a lot easier to get in this with the easy dodge. Even if it's not super practical, I still like using the single-shot bolt-action guns in close range. Alright, have not seen that do that before. You can see she's also got her ice bottle, exploding bottle. You only got one of each. I assume you can upgrade those to get more. You know, had I known it would take them so long to get here, I wouldn't have waited. Alright, so now we could finish the mission, but you can see there's still 5 enemies left. Usually what happens is the last enemies will spawn when you open up the key to the last area. And that seems to be pretty reliable for tracking them down. There's no hidden pufferfish. Oh. Alright, so this one doesn't have a lock on that, so they're spawning now that I've gotten close to it. Cool eyes. But yeah, that seems to have been the case for pretty much every single map so far. Also, I'm not sure what the difference between a red and blue life crystal is. I have not found any red ones, as you can get the blue ones from doing daily missions. Alright, so she unlocked something new, a new skill. Oh, looks like she unlocked a new skill slot as well. Magic Pixel. Okay, so that just leaves you alive if something would kill you with a lot of damage. Doesn't prevent you from being chipped to death, just murdered in one hit. Alright, so you can see you can upgrade skills, and it'll tell you, like, max level 20. But if you try to upgrade, or if you go to a skill that's already maxed out, or in the case of some of them, like, it's just the skill that can't be leveled up, like Wesker's Evade Cancel. If you go to that, you see there's an Inherit, which costs a whole bunch of SP. So I think that lets you give the skill to another character once it's maxed out. And since it's only level 1, it's already maxed out. But I'm not completely sure on that yet. In fact, I wonder if that mentions that over here in the guidebook. Skills. Yeah, okay, so you can give other characters your skills, but of course it costs a whole bunch of skill points, so it's not something you're going to do right away. But I guess that's a good way to sort of balance out characters, you know, to take away their weaknesses and stuff by sort of messing around with their skills. What does it say about playing online, since it's something you can't do? Alright, so that's, I think that's a decent rundown of Revelations 2. It's a raid mode. You can see here you've also got achievements, which will give you some in-game rewards as well, which is always nice. And look, I'm doing great. I'm ranked 6,801, presumably out of 6,801 people. I assume that's just supposed to show, you know, your other friends. Or, okay, yeah, friends only. Or there's just no leaderboards yet because there's no online yet. And come on, Capcom. But yeah, I've been having fun with this. I like the whole, you know, finding loot inside the missions now. Another thing, too, they changed is that mods for weapons are permanent now. So if you want your mods back from a weapon, you can actually just destroy the weapon and get the mods back. But you can't just swap them on and off, which is a little annoying, especially with how many weapons you go through. Because it just makes me want to not upgrade anything until I'm a much higher level. But yeah, I've been Shadefyre. This is Resident Evil Revelations Raid Mode. Sorry, Resident Evil Revelations 2 Raid Mode. And I'm enjoying it so far. I'd say that there's definitely a lot more going on here than the main game right now, but of course that's because the other episodes aren't out. And I think this is really the meat of the content you're going to get for 25 bucks. Because that's how much it is for all of the episodes, plus Hunk, and I think the throwback map pack comes with that too. And yeah. You folks all take care.
You imbecile!
Play us out, Wesker.